And good afternoon. It's a beautiful day here along the coast for a gorgeous August 31st, 2022 from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Have you become a member? No less than 50 new members yesterday. Come on, get a membership and get those incredible checks from the shores of Santa Monica, California. We're going to go over all those big checks in a second. 12 categories of checks, including that lifetime stimulus. Those 12 categories of checks pay out about 100 to 200 different checks and a potentially over $100,000. We'll go over the latest details you need to know in today's recording from the shores of Santa Monica, California. Then in the second half, stay to the very end, we're going to go over not only those checks, but a new narrative, a new insight from me truly about these checks. You don't want to miss it. Repeat, you do not want to miss that big second half of today's recording. But the major story we're leading on today is not a surprise. It has been happening over the last 2 weeks. The major story today, of course, is that comment by Fed President out of New York, John Williams. And what was his comment? His comment is much the same as the other Fed governors have said, and Jay Powell, in the last 2 weeks, that they continue to introduce interest rate spikes until they get inflation down to a target of 2%, and that those interest rate spikes will continue similarly situated to what they were before. Pretty easy. I mean, we've heard this from Bullard, Daly, Bowman, Jay Powell a week ago today. You heard it from me over the last 3 weeks. And yet Wall Street, perhaps because they think lobster shorts are high couture, because they think the check waves back at them, because they think $12 ice cream is cheap, because they think a San Francisco hairstyle is a hairstyle. Wall Street keeps on running this crazy false narrative. And I got to tell you, in the 2 years this channel's been around, I've never seen Fed governors sort of get progressively angry. They're getting angry as sort of a sophisticated person does. What are they saying? We're going to stay with this for a while. I need to be a little bit more direct. That was Jay Powell's comments. And then Fed President from New York, John Williams, today says, this is not something we're doing for a short time and then changing course. Is that blunt? I think it is blunt in a sophisticated, elegant way. It's basically zip your mouth. It's basically zip your mouth. What are you saying? What Wall Street has been trying to say is that there's going to be one interest rate spike in September, and they initially said it's 50 basis points, not happening. And that was it. And that bear market gone, bull market, here we go. We're never going to have a recession. It's good times to stay and let's celebrate. No. Why? Because the people who vote on the policy, Bowman, Daly, Bullard, Jay Powell, and this guy today, John Williams, not the composer, not the Star Wars composer, the other John Williams, said, we're going to be doing exactly what we said we're doing. Who changed the words in my mouth? Yeah, and Wall Street continues to crash. Wall Street continues to crash, and they deserve it. I got to tell you, no one else would say those type of words except me. A mainstream broadcaster would never do that. Wall Street deserves to be crashed because they were running a false narrative for 3 weeks that there was going to be one interest rate spike and that's it. No. That the Federal Reserve is going to pivot and stop doing interest rate spikes. No. And that we are not going to have any more problems with the Federal Reserve after September. Oh, yes, you are. The comments by Williams were that we need to have restrictive policies for some time, and this is not something we need to do for a short period of time and then change course. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, Jay Powell said that last week. For some time. They have that in a picture frame on the wall at the Federal Reserve next to a picture of me? I don't know. I do think with demand exceeding supply, we need to do restrictive real interest rates above zero. But we need to have some restrictive policy to show demand, and we're still not there yet. For you to understand this very basically, 8% inflation was predicted by me last year. 8% is very high, folks. It should be 2 or 3%. I predicted it last year. Wall Street, Federal Reserve got it wrong. The Federal Reserve got it wrong. And they said it's going to be temporary. I said, no, it's not. It's going to be 8% for a while. Then it came at 8% in January. And they've been trying since January to get inflation down. This is your milk and eggs. This is your gasoline. This is your hairstyle. Your $12 ice cream that's now $15 ice cream, I guess it is. The items are too overpriced. And to get inflation down, you raise interest rates. How much does that money move per month? Very little. This is big news for your stimulus checks. This is huge news for your stimulus checks. The $100 you have in the bank account may be worth $80 to you now because the products you buy are so much more money to purchase. And that's why you need to get four stimulus check in every U.S. state. They're coming up in just a second. 12 categories of four stimulus checks that yield 100 to 200 checks across the board. Have you become a member? Hope you do, because the members of this channel are getting these checks. These checks became law in the month of March. They're in every U.S. state. They're federal stimulus. They're not paid by your state. They're in every U.S. state. They're for you. They're from the federal government. The viewers of this channel are averaging 45,000. And you want to become a member and stay to the very end, because I'm going to go over all these incredible checks. Plus, with a new bit on this channel you've never seen before. Go under this video, join the channel, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Get these huge checks, stay a member, and continue to be a member. Because why? I'm always finding new checks, and we were at 3 checks just a week ago. Now we're at 12 categories of nearly 100 checks. Look how much effort I put in. You put the effort in as well. These incredible checks are huge. Let's go over them right now. Single individual, 75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, 150,000 less, go get it. If you're on benefits, if you're not, if you have children, if you're not, every U.S. state. It's federal stimulus. It comes from the federal government. $100,000 for just the first 3 checks, A, B, and C, as I number them on the channel, made law by executive action of Joseph Biden in the month of March. Now added with checks E through K and L and M. They're coming up in a second. You qualify. Go under the video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, and Casino VIP. Let's go back to the importance of understanding why this J-PAL problem is a major problem. It's a major problem because 2 weekends ago, has it been 2? Yeah, it's been 2. 2 weekends ago, I said, I'm the only one saying that the Federal Reserve is going to have a 75 basis point increase in September when they return, and every month thereafter through at least December, because they got to get inflation from 8% to 2%. It doesn't move that quickly with an interest rate spike. It moves very slowly. They've only got it down half a percentage point since January. And I said, I'm worried because I'm the only one saying this. Wall Street's saying the exact opposite. They're saying there's going to be no more interest rate spikes. Says it's going to be a Fed pivot. I'm going off of the Federal Reserve's own words. They do what they say. And I said, if Wall Street continues to not listen to the Federal Reserve, Wall Street is going to crash. And it did. A week before the major crash, it was down at 650 points that Monday. Then it went down at 200 the next day. Then it crashed 1,000 that Friday. This week, every single day has been no bueno. 400, 300, 500, 200. It's going to continue. 52-week high, 52-week low. What does it refer to? It refers to how low something has been over 52 weeks. It's a benchmark used by Wall Street. A lot of stuff is at 52-week lows. And let me make this very clear to you because I haven't before. Actually, I don't think it happened until just last night. A lot of the stocks that had gone up to here and then gone down into June and then rallied from June upward. I think I spoke about this about a week ago. That started to rally up since June are now back to June. So that short felt rally, short felt really was, wasn't it? It was less than 60 days. That everyone said, oh, we are back in a bull market. Bye, 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 bye. Yeah, with that stupid audio that guy uses. I just think that's so stupid. I really do. Hits a button that says, bye, 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 bye. Yeah, well, you should not be buying because guess what? It went straight back down. Everything went straight back down. Let's look at some of those announcements today on the corporate earnings front. You know, last week we had the retail sales when Target, which you shop at, they had guided downward for the month of, they had guided downward in May. They missed. They downward guided in June. They missed, and they continue to guide downward, and they just continue to miss. So what do we have today on that earnings front, left and right? Well, we have one comment about corporate earnings, which is huge. It comes in from Binky Chadka. I love that. His first name is Binky. Binky. I just love that name. I would remind the bear market rallies are frequent and large. Ooh, bear market means downward. Bull means up. So he says, I would remind Wall Street traders that bear market rallies are frequent and large. And he says that the last two recessions, there were many bear market rallies, and that five of them were bigger than 5% to 14 to 15%. I've been featuring them. They're up. They're more than 15%. Thank you, Pinky. September seasonally could be coming in on the downside, so I would argue it's basically going to continue. That's his comment. Job openings. Well, we had a major announcement on that. I'll be cutting back to that in a second, but let's look at the corporate earnings that came in minutes ago, or the guidance for the rest of the year. We have a lot of retail, actually. We have designer brands beat on top and bottom on second quarter earnings, and they raised full year guidance. Whoa, so that is great news. That's not a recession, that's anti-recession. Express, I love that store. I haven't been there, 10 years, but I love that store. Slid 4.7% in pre-market trading, cut full year guidance. We're going to hear this a lot. Full year guidance is what they're saying they're going to do for the rest of the year. They're downward guiding, and they cut guidance for the rest of this year. You're going to hear that narrative on the channel for a while. How long? You're going to hear it again in about 3 seconds. Here we go. Chewy, which is the home delivery for pet goods, cut full year guidance. There we go. It's down 10.8%. And HP, the computer product company, missed on forecasts, down 7.1%. Snap has had big problems. I'm just going to skip over it. It's down 7%. Bed Bath & Beyond is down to 14%. And then PVH, which owns Tommy Hilfiger, you know that, and Calvin Klein, cut year-end guidance. This is just three in a row practically, and this is just one recording. Recession? Of course it's a recession. I mean, look at all these companies are cutting year-end guidance, full year guidance. Now, let me jump over to the latest details on job openings released minutes ago. This is huge. The number of job positions in the month of July was higher. Well, the White House would celebrate on this one any moment. Joe Biden loves job creation numbers. And Wall Street is looking for 10.3 million jobs created private sector in the month of July. And it came in 11.2 million. This was nearly double the amount available in the workforce. This is the Job Openings and Labor Turnover Survey, estimated that the number of job turnovers, number of available positions grew up. Now, what's important to understand about this number, I'm not going to do in this recording, is that the number may be high because people are quitting more than ever. So it's not necessarily job creations. I want to be very careful with my language. It's job openings. This is job openings, not job creations. So there may be a lot of job openings because people quit left and right and they just look for another job. It's sort of like Sirloin. That week he quit and they came back. Yeah, so that would have been a job opening until he came back, and then it's a cow. He's coming to LALATE 2 within just days. Oh, I'm so excited for him. The other major breaking story, of course, today is that incredible money for you. There's now 12 categories of checks. 12 categories of checks that yield 100 plus checks that are to 200 plus checks that are absolutely huge, and you deserve these sums of money. Let's go over those sums of money. Have you become a member? I hope you have. Go into the video. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. These are 4 stimulus checks in every U.S. state. They're from the federal government. You deserve this money. And what's important to understand is that you qualify. There's not going to be any other money from Congress, at least in July, at least in August, at least not in September. Well, this is going into September. We've passed July, we've passed August, we're heading to September. They're on vacation. This is the money that's available. Don't sit around and think there's other money. And don't jump in the live chat and say there is no money, because there is this money. My viewers have been getting it for a long time. And if you just became a viewer, welcome. I'm going to teach you how to get this money in the big second half. Viewers are cleaning up. Become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Let's go over first a little bit more about this money. The first 3 checks are A, B, and C. The next 3 checks are E through F, done by Congress, and the checks after that are L and M. E through M have been found by this channel in just the last 14 days. So that's why you want to become a member, which is monthly, and stay a member, because I'm finding checks on a regular basis. I know a lot of people that were members are coming back because now they realize, oh boy, they're new checks. I should not have left. No, I'm always looking for new checks for you. And you deserve these sums of money because why? There's a recession underway. It's going to be a 2-year recession. Number two, there's inflation underway. It has not gone down a half a percentage point. You need money to afford that milk and eggs. You need money to survive this recession. And guess what? Also, you need to survive. If you've been with this channel for a while, you've seen that graphic. Here, can I find it? I think I did. This graphic. Yeah. I have talked a lot ad nauseum that I believe September is the financial cliff. September is the financial cliff. Now, some analysts would tell you that good times are here to stay. They'd also tell you there's no interest rate spikes from Jay Powell. That's why you need to become a member, because good times may not be here to stay. Financial cliff may be around the corner, and I've been saying it's September for a very long time. Getting these incredible stimulus checks for you would be that buffer if that is a major financial cliff. And you want to get these big sums of money now when the money's available. You don't wait to after there's a problem. No one does that. You don't wait to after there's a problem. We're going to go over all those incredible checks in just a second, but let's cover that overview of what these checks are. You qualify. Single individual, $75,000 less, go get it. Married couple, $150,000 less, go get it. If you rent, if you own, if you're on benefits, if you're not on benefits, go get it. How to get it? You become a member. And right now we're going to go over one of the benefits of becoming a member. Actually, two of them. Is one, the newsletter, delivered Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. And number two, the worksheets. One of the narratives you're going to see from me in my commentary in the big second half is people really need to listen. You really need to listen. I love you to death, but you need to listen. I'm going to tell you something right now. We're bringing back LATE 101, LATE 202, LATE 303, and LATE 404. LATE 101 is the School of Stimulus, and we're back in session starting right now. Question number one, where are the worksheets? If you jump in the live chat and says they're in the newsletter, you got it right. It's very simple. I'm going to say it right again right now. Write it in the live chat to pass 101, LATE 101. To pass LATE 101, write in the live chat right now. Where are the worksheets? In the newsletter. I say it about 150 times a day, and yet people still say, where? Come on, you're just not listening. They're in the wonderful newsletter. Let's go over those wonderful worksheets. They're in front of me right now. The first page of the wonderful worksheets goes over economy. Inflation. What do we know about inflation? It has not gone down. It's, the headline number is basically flat. The component part is still a little bit higher. Recession, what do we know about recession? We're currently under a recession. Some economists would likely say no. I'll have their comments in the big second half, and I'll debate them. Labor, well, I missed the labor numbers this week, but I'll feature them potentially on evenings. Labor numbers been basically flat. Jobless claims is about 240, 243, 245, 250. It's basically flat. And Federal Reserve. This is why you watch this channel. I get it right all the time. So the Federal Reserve is going to do 75 basis point indefinitely until they get inflation down to 2%, and those interest rate spikes will be every single month. Well, the comments by Williams, I'll have another Fed governor, I believe, on evenings tonight, is the same. They don't often say the Fed rate hike, but they say we're going to have those interest rate spikes for a long time. How long is it going to get to 2% inflation? I say at least December. I've been saying that along on this channel. But how long do I really believe in my heart? It could be middle next year, folks. Yeah, there's going to be interest rate spikes for a long time. So when the Wall Street executives say it's going to be, one more month, it's about as ridiculous as wearing lobster shorts on a Paris runway. Let's go to the second page of the worksheets. Here it is, the wonderful page that everyone wants. It's a table to keep track of all the money you get. You can print out the worksheets from your phone, you can print it out from your computer, or you can download and take notes on a separate piece of paper. Every phone can download a PDF. Phones that are 10 years old can download a PDF. But at best, you can just look at it and say, oh, yeah, let me just take notes on a separate piece of paper. Why? Let's go over the details. 12 categories of checks, but not 12 checks, 100, 200 checks. Check A is the big weatherizing grant. Is it one check? It is one check. One category, one check. Check B and check C are two categories, but not two checks. They're each about 100 checks. Why? Because it's mortgage and rent, And then it's your utilities, about 4 utilities. So that's 5 checks per month. The average view of this channel is getting 14 months, 14 times 5. Yeah, that's a lot of darn checks. And how many places you have to reach out to for check B, 1, but for check C, 12. Wow, that's a lot of checks to keep track of. That's 100, 200 checks right there. Check E through K are each 1 category, 1 check, and then checks L, 1 category, 1 check, M, 1 category, but several checks. Wow, that is nearly 200 checks right there. Drag and longtime volunteer of this channel does wonderful work for everyone. A great person got $140,000 from this incredible PDF helping her. Then, Margaret yesterday made history. Margaret made history on this channel by becoming the first Triple Hawk member. She is already a member of LALATE 1, but she became a member overnight of LALATE 2 and LALATE 3. Wow. Let's all congratulate Margaret for that incredible achievement of becoming a triple member on LALATE 2 and LALATE 3. Who will be the next triple member? Let's see if it will be you. Then we had one viewer last week and get 14 months of rent. Another viewer a day before that getting 14 months of rent. A viewer the day before that getting 12 months of utilities. Lynn Glenn got 12 months of utilities. Congratulations to Lynn Glenn. And Margaret keeps on getting checks on a regular basis. We had Spelly who got check A, Spelly who got check C, and then we had that viewer out of Florida who got 80 to 100 checks. It's just absolutely incredible. For what? Check B. She applied for a mortgage, she got that. Then she applied for utilities, she got all that. That is a whopping 18 months times 5 checks on average. That is 80 to 100 checks from check B. It's just incredible. It's what's happening on this channel on a regular basis. Let's go for the next page of the worksheet. The next page of the worksheet is your benefit raise and your benefits. We'll go over that in just a second in this first draft. And then we're going to cut over to that that sixth stimulus. And then we're also going to cut over to the student loan debt forgiveness. If the student loan debt forgiveness is being phased out on this channel, because really the story is over. Gasoline is fascinating. Now, some people are saying gasoline has the lowest month in the summer last month. Be careful with that, because the international price of Brent crude was 104 much of this week. It was 100, then 102 in the last 24 hours, 98. They're all in the membership newsletter. Yes, the domestic unleaded continues to track downward, but will it? I don't think so. I don't think so. Let's cut back now to your member benefits, and you can put this on that page of that worksheet. Your benefits are going up a lot. We feature this a lot on this channel. Your benefits are going up a lot because inflation is so high. Let's go over first how much they're going over, and then we'll go over the incredible news of that, how that inflation is impacting it. Your benefits are going up a lot. How much? Some of you 5,000, some of you less, some of you more. You, yes, if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security Rail benefits. It's just incredible news. Why are they going up? Because inflation is so high. Because inflation is so high. That inflation has really tracked high. That CPI that was released in the month of May just really surged dramatically. Let's look at that right then. In the month of May, that CPI was a whopping 8.6%. And what happened thereafter? Well, that inflation then tracked to a 9.1% in the month of June. My goodness. Last July, released August 10th, it was a whopping 8.5%, still really high. And this means your benefits are going up a lot because the inflation is really, really hot. What do we know when we look at those inflation? Well, the home builders indicates inflation, the housing starts indicates inflation, the retail sales, the producer price index, but the lead number, of course, is the consumer price index. So let's go over what's going on with that number. First, is this law? It is. It is a law. You don't have to do anything. Second, your benefits are tied to something called COLA, Cost of Living Adjustment, COLA. It's determined by another number, the CPI-W, released in the month of August 10th. For July, it was released. The August number released September 10th, and the September number released October 10th. If inflation stays where it is or a little bit higher, your benefits are going up an astronomical amount. And even if it tracks down a little bit, they're still going up an astronomical amount. This, my friends, is lifetime stimulus. So what do we see with that CPI? And what is the CPI? The CPI is the price of milk and eggs, the products you buy. Consumer Price Index, CPI, released once a month. It tracked at a whopping 8.5% last week, or 2 weeks ago, August 10th. Did it come back a little bit down on the headline number? It did, but the component parts were higher month to month. Salaries up, the rent up, the products you buy, like milk and eggs, up, the gasoline down. So what are we looking right now? Well, since that number was released, other inflationary benchmark numbers were released as well, and they were flat. They were completely flat. And what were they? Retail sales flat. The personal consumption expenditure index released a week ago today, flat. And the retail sales PPI, and the personal consumption expenditure index PCE, all flat. Great news, because if those numbers remain flat, your benefits are going up a lot. Now, let's go back to those benefits. Everyone, yes. Direct deposit, otherwise a meal, yes. Do you have to do anything? No. Automatic stimulus, yes. Lifetime, yes. Monthly, yes. This is great news. How much? The Seniors League, when looking at that August print, well, the July print released August 10th, of an 8.1% raise of that CPI, said that based upon that, you're seeing about a 10.1% raise of your benefits. Well, do you see the milk and eggs still going up in the supermarket? I do. Do you see that the rent or salaries are flat? I do. Do you see that the gasoline is tracked a little bit higher? Well, if you're looking at Brent crude, yeah, I do as well. So I do believe that the inflationary pressures may stay relatively hot, and based upon that, I do believe you're going to see a little bit more than what the Seniors League is saying across the board. In the big second half, we're going to go over all these incredible checks, one at a time with you. We're going to go over each of these incredible checks. Become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. We're not only going to go over those checks, but we're also going to hear a new narrative and a new insight from me. And plus, we're bringing back the wonders of that university you love. That university is LALATE University. We're going to go over LALATE 101, 202, 303, 404, all in one video. My goodness, we got a lot to do. It's a preview of the return of your favorite university. For the shores of Santa Monica, California, see you back in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now in the big second half on the shores of Santa Monica, California. We have a big week ahead of us, but the day is not over. On Evening to LA, we're going to go over more about that downward guidance, really bad news, for the year end of so many corporations. Why are they downward guiding, and what does it mean for you and your money? We'll have the latest details on that on Big Evenings LALATE at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you on that new show tonight. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, so glad you're with me on this big second half. Stay to the very end because we have a lot of money to go over. Did you become a member? Hope you did. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. And with that, let's go over all these incredible checks that are available for you in every U.S. state. These incredible checks are huge. Single individual, 75,000, let's go get it. Married couple, 150,000, let's go get it. And if you rent, if you own it, if you're on benefits, go get it as well. How do you do it? Step 1, subscribe to this channel. Step 2, go into the video, join the channel, become a member. And step 3, listen right now as we go over all these incredible checks from A through M. Check A is a wonderful $6,500 to $12,000 for stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, 75,000, let's go get it. Married couple, 150,000, let's go get it. If you have benefits, go get it as well. How do you get this wonderful check? You go under the video and subscribe to this channel. You then also go into the video and become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Members of LALATE 1, 2, and 3 are delivered the membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. And then when you get that YouTube alert written by me, you go down to, you get a membership newsletter written by me, you go down to check A, there it is, you can click the link, you go right into the nationwide website, you go get that incredible check, choosing your state and choosing the weatherizing grant. This is the check that Spella got. Check B is a wonderful check of $15,000 to $80,000. It's a forced stimulus check in every U.S. state. Single individual, 75,000, let's go get it. Married couple, 150,000, let's go get it. How do you get this incredible check? You go under the video, subscribe. You go under the video, become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Parrot, Casino VIP. And then when you get that membership newsletter Monday through Friday, you go down to where you see check B, you click the link and go get it. Send you into the nationwide website, choose your state. This is the check that the viewer out of Florida got. 80 to 100 checks. Incredible. Incredible. Look at that check B. 8,100 checks there. Then check A. Wow. That is $100,000 over those 2 checks right there. But we're not done there yet. We're going to go get check C. It's for rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, and more. It's huge. How do you get this? You go into the video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Get that wonderful membership newsletter Monday through Friday, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time via the YouTube alerts. You stay with this channel and stay as a member because there's new checks coming all the time. And when you go down to that membership newsletter where you see check C, it tells you who to call, what to say, and how to say it. Viewers have been getting these check C's for a very long time because they predate fourth stimulus, they predate third stimulus. Let's look at some of their success stories right now. From Nancy to Mark and Elizabeth and Richard. Incredible. You won $30,000 for rent, go get check C. For utilities, Mark was at this number. His brother-in-law got $15,000. Lynn Glenn got 12 months. 2 other viewers got 14 months of rent. Well, 14 months of rent is not, it's not 14,000. It's generally like 28,000. It's a lot of money. Look how much we've progressed from this channel. This is the utilities graphic, but I'm talking about the rent. It's just incredible. Now, Lynn Glenn got 12 months of utilities for Lynn Glenn. That's not a penny in the fountain either. That's a lot of money. Great job, Lynn Glenn. Let's look at the combinations of checks. Insane. Niece was at 23,000. She went to 50,000. Mark was at 32,000. Then he went to 166. He went to this graphic. Then he went to 50. Then he went to 100,000. Then he got check B 166. Here's Lorraine. She was at 105, and then she went to 155. Huge. And what is the similarity between Nisi, Lorraine, Margaret, Johnny, Mark? They're in all the live chats. As soon as a new check becomes live, they pounce. They become a Purple Hawk member, and they stay members because there's always new money to get. There's always new information to learn, and there's always stimulus to pounce on. That's the true testament of a Purple Hawk. Purple Hawk is not a person who walks in and then leaves quickly, because there's lots of other money coming, and there's also a big recession coming. It's clearly on the way right now, but the hurt is coming thereafter. That is check A through C. Great news. Just wonderful news. We're just getting started because that's check A through C. You're ready for now E through K. They're in the membership newsletter, down around the middle. And E through K are just huge. Let's look at those E through K checks starting right now. They are categories of checks, but they're also individual checks. E is a whopping $7,500. F is $4,000. G is 30% off. H is $2,000. I is $8,000. J is $8,000. K is $14,000. My goodness, that's incredible news. They were made law by Congress by executive action. Congress by law, no less than about 2 Sundays ago. Get ready now for check L and M. They are right behind E through K in that membership newsletter. L is about $100,000 of low and interest free money. It's just huge. Why would you pass up that incredible money? And then M is about $4,000 of costs for closing on a purchase of a home. Just huge. Just absolutely incredible. So you see over A through M, a lot of checks, 12 categories, and about 100 to 200 checks, about $100 to $200,000 available for you to get. How do you get this? You go under the video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Also join it, also subscribe, and also go to the Funnest channel and hit the bell so you have all notifications set to all on. And with that, I'm bringing back a familiar face. We haven't had this on a channel for a while. It's called LALATE University. And school is now in session. I love saying that. All right, LALATE 101. Jump into the live chat right now and repeat and type into the live chat right now the following words, and I will graduate you from LALATE 101. A forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state because it's for the federal government. A forced stimulus check is in every U.S. state because it's from the federal government. And once you do that, I will pass you. Let's remember that all this forced stimulus is from the federal government. So every time someone jumps in the live chat and says, Oklahoma is not sending anything out, Kansas is not sending something out, Montana's not sending something out. Well, maybe you're right, but I'm not covering your state. I'm not covering what your state did. I'm covering federal stimulus. The first stimulus check was sent by the U.S. Department of Treasury, not the Kansas State Department of Treasury. The second stimulus check from the U.S. Federal Department of Treasury. The third stimulus check from the U.S. Federal Department of Treasury. You know that stimulus comes from the federal government, so you're playing a false narrative when you're talking about your state. States never paid a penny. I've never seen anyone in California really get a state stimulus check from California. I've heard about them, but I never met anyone that got them. And every time that I've heard mention of them, there's $400, $300. I'm not talking about $300 or $400 here. I'm talking about $100,000. I'm talking about massive sums of money that are available from these federal stimulus programs that you may qualify for. All right, there we go. That is LALATE 101. LALATE 202, class is now in session. We're zooming through this. This is the advanced session. LALATE 202. Where do I apply for these checks? Where do I apply for the checks is the question, the pop quiz question today in class LALATE 202. Jump in the live chat and write, you apply in the newsletter. You apply in the newsletter. If you write in the live chat, you apply in the newsletter, you graduate. Now, I got to tell you, no, I'm not going to tell you now. I'm going to tell you a second. That is LALATE 202. So simple. Where to apply for the checks in the LALATE newsletter. All right, number 3, LALATE 303. Its class is now in session. Great. LALATE 303 actually has 2 questions. First, where do we get the newsletter? Via the YouTube alerts. Via the YouTube alerts. You need to write in the live chat via the YouTube alerts, and I will graduate you from LALATE 302. They're delivered via the YouTube alerts. And then there's a second question to this class as well. Where do we find the worksheets? In the newsletter. Delivered via YouTube alerts. In the newsletter. Delivered via the YouTube alerts. Finally, the last classes in session. LALATE 505. Yeah, you never met LALATE 505. Well, it's now in session today. It is the advanced of all the advanced classes. And what do you have to write to pass LALATE 505? Stay to the very end of videos. Stay to the very end of videos. And why is that important? Because there's a lot that comes up later in the video. Obviously, a stimulus comes up later in the video, and there is a lot to cover in a respective video. So if you hear J-Pow, the fun, and you're like, oh, you know, or you hear Nancy, you're like, oh, Nancy, you got to stay to the very end because there's always something that comes up. And what's coming up right now? My commentary. My commentary comes up right now. You know, this channel's been around for 2 years, and the very first day of this channel, I was helping people get things. Get EIDL grants, get EIDL loans, get PUA, get FPUC, get this, get that. And that was what this channel was day one, and still what this channel is today. But along the first few months of this channel, when I did something, I wouldn't repeat it, but generally people would get it. I mean, people would say it, and they'd hear it, and they'd understand it, and we'd go on to something more advanced. Here's an example. Make sure that you did not type in your account number wrong for the EIDL grant. And so I really wouldn't have to repeat that very often because it's sort of obvious. Did you write the wrong account number? When we got to unemployment, for example, I said you have to apply and then you have to certify every week. You have to go back and apply for every week. I didn't have to repeat that 1,000 times. In the last week and a half, and it's sort of a mixture. Some of it's new members, some of it's existing members. People want me to repeat the very basic LALATE 1 stuff over and over again. And I got to tell you, here's my new statement to you going into September. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm not going to repeat basic stuff anymore. I'm not going to repeat what time zone you are in or what time zone I'm in. If you can't figure out time zones, you need to get up to date before you come to this channel. I'm not going to go over basic stuff like this is a YouTube alert and this is an LALATE.com alert. I think people really know that. You look at it, it says it's from LALATE. You look at it, it says it's from YouTube. There's a very different alert. People say, I'm in the LALATE alert. I'm like, you're in the wrong alert. You're in the YouTube, you need to be in the YouTube alert. Then, certain things I say in the videos 1,000 times. I mean, I'm trying to count, during the commercial break, I was trying to count how many videos are on this channel. And now the other 2 channels per day. I don't know. I think it could be upwards of 24 videos a day. I have no idea, but it's a lot of videos. Every video says the newsletter is delivered to you via YouTube alerts. And yet there's always someone who says, where do I apply for checks? That's very basic. I say 1,000 times a day, folks. You apply for all the money in the newsletter. So they're not even understanding that there is a newsletter. I'm moving on. If you can't catch up, you gotta replay the videos. So if you're in the live chat and you're saying, where do I apply for stuff? You need to self-evaluate. You really do. This is a lot of tough love. I'm giving you really hard right now. You need to self-evaluate. If you don't know what time zone you are in, you need to get caught up. If you don't know how to operate your phone, you need to get caught up. If you don't know how to go into YouTube and remain signed into YouTube and your phone keeps on signing you out of YouTube, you need to get caught up. There's a cell phone carrier who sold you the phone or you bought the phone for someone, you need to call them up. I'm not here to teach you how to know time zones. I'm not here to teach you how to run your phone. I'm not here to teach you how to replay a video that said the same thing 100 times over 24 hours. The newsletter was created by me for you to make it simple. And if you don't even want to know that it exists, if you don't want to even know that the worksheets are in the newsletter, when I say it 1,000 times a day, you know what? And you know that you can replay videos. So if I talk too fast, which I admit sometimes I do, you can always replay the video. Just go in the video, you replay it. And if you miss the video, which some people are now tuning into videos a lot when they're taped more than when they're live, I've been noticing that. Fine with me. So long as you watch the videos and learn, you hear it. If you're in the live chat and writing the following comments as either a subscriber or a member, you really need to self-evaluate. What time zone are I in? Where do I get the checks? What website do I go to apply for checks? There is none. I want to go to the community page to apply for checks. I never said that. And then that is all this channel stuff. Outside, and here's a different part of the commentary right now. Outside, we all knew that the stimulus stampede would happen in September. I've been talking about for a long time. But I never knew that the stampede would involve what I'm seeing. And I need you to prepare for it mentally. This is for everyone who's loving, caring, on focus, wants to learn and earn on this channel. This is all for you. This is not for people who are not other than you. There is now a group that I'm seeing on the periphery. I'm seeing them here and there. They pop up in the live chats sometimes, like one person, a video 2 times a day. And they will jump in there and say, I haven't heard about any forced stimulus. I've been hearing about forced stimulus sent out since last year. It's never going to happen. They never sent out anything, never happened. These people look like the clown of the circus. They really do. I mean, they're clowns. They are 100% clowns. We call them trolls. We call them clowns. Because you're sitting back in the live chat. You're a member. You've already gotten, your Ling Glenn or your Spelly or your Margaret or your Mark or your Nisi. You've already gotten checks. They're in your wallet. And there's someone jumping the live chat. There's never going to be money. You're not going to get any money yet. And you're like, I wish I had a prop for this. I wish I had a prop for it. You're like, there's no money. Let me wave my face with some dollar bills. So if you see that ridiculous person in the live chat, just sort of laugh at them. Of course, report them as Purple Patrol. Report them to me, and they're going to be banned. And I'm really catching them all. But report that person, but laugh at them because they are ridiculous. I mean, they very, very are sad. And some of them are more sad than you think. Today on Evenings LA, we have a big new show at 5 o'clock. Yeah, if you have a few extra pennies to spend, go get some fake dollar bills at the toy store this weekend, and just wave the dollar bills every time that troll jumps a lodge and says, "I got in my catch. How about you?" Whatever happened in September? Well, Colander Colleen's about to come back tomorrow as well, and then Colander Con right behind her. Get those incredible checks. Go around this video, become a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. You've done such a great job. Don't let anyone rain on your parade. And trust me, if anyone tries to do that, oh, yeah, they haven't dealt with me yet. Become a member, Purple Hawk, Purple Power Casino VIP. From the shores of Santa Monica, California, I love you to death. Keep on doing what you're doing. You're doing such a great job. Stay informed, stay focused, have a beautiful afternoon, and stay with LA for more.